Hello, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to Parlour Tea.
It's very crappy. The weather is
I'm
really
like, wait, what's
bad.
really crappy?
The weather is very bad outside.
It is. It's very bad. Welcome. So tonight we don't have a guest, but we're going to talk a little bit about our really cool thing that we do here. One of the cool things we do here, right?
One of the top cool.
You think it's the top cool thing?
I think so. I do.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about New Moon Academy tonight. For those of you who don't know, New Moon Academy is our witchcraft course. It's a full, complete intro to just really some of the basics of how you can connect with spirituality. We call it witchcraft because that's kind of like the thing that people can recognize.
Right.
And the whole goal of it is to help you understand how you want to connect and to identify some of your interests and figure out what kind of witch you are, which is the best part. Which witch are you? I think.
Yeah. So how it all started was I am a big TikToker. That might be a quiz question, so write that down somewhere.
It might be a quiz. What are we going to do? Parlor trivia?
Somewhere.
That would be cool.
That would be fun. What did John? No. I think that if you know, I'm a big TikToker, and I branched off into the witch TikTok, which is awesome and amazing. And there are some awesome creators.
There's some really good
and there's some really
creators.
good people like Riot Adams. We like
Riot
him.
Adams, we love.
If you're
Riot
listening,
Adams.
we want you on our Parlour Tea. Anyway, and I kept running to Genevieve saying, "Did you know? Did you know? Did you know?" Like I was smarter than she was. In
We're
this
all smart
aspect,
in our own ways. We're all smart in our own
it's
ways.
It's all new to me. So she's like, I said we should do a school, like classes on it. She goes, I already did Witchy 101. And I said, no, I think we should go really in depth into the practice or the spiritual journey or finding your inner self through the witchcraft. And I did say it, and as I said it, it was a really great thing. And then you sat there and you said, and it just started to turn the wheels.
Started to roll.
And Genevieve said to me, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, she stopped and she said, you know what? I can't think of me as a practicing witch for umpteen years.
A while.
Yes, since the wheel. No,
since the wheel.
He's
older than me. He's older than me. Everyone, he's older.
My birthday's April 9th. Anyway, so you stopped and you said, you know what? I'm going to look at it from your perspective and how wide-eyed you are about it, and then think that way. So instead of driving the idea from a perspective of a seasoned practitioner, you did it from a beginner wondering who they are in this universe.
In this whole universe, yes. That's so poetic.
I try sometimes.
One of the things that tends to happen here at the parlor is that people will come in and they're looking for ways to connect, whether they're interested in astrology or divination or anything like that. But we get a lot of people in here that are brand new. Yeah. And they're a little overwhelmed by all of the things that are out there, because while having all of the access to books and everything that's on the internet, it can be a little bit overwhelming if you don't have focus. So we did take a look at that. We took a step back and started to think about, what does somebody who is interested...
You went ahead, because the funny part was the middle piece.
Which part?
Me and Genevieve, I feel, and you could tell me, am I wrong or right or whatever? I'm like, blah, blah. We work very well together collaboratively.
We do, yeah.
an idea pops up and then it turns into something. And the amazing part is to take it and turn it into something and then step back and look at it.
Manifest something.
Yeah. So manifest. Anybody hears the word manifest today, they
You gotta
scream.
take a drink. It could be a drinking game.
We should do like a parlor thing here, like a word of the day, and then
Like Pee Wee's Playhouse.
So and she's like, so you had said to me, oh, so then the light has sort of went on, and then you're like, but what would you call it?
Oh yeah.
And then I said to her something stupid. It was something
names.
silly. And then all of a sudden I said, you should just call it New Moon Academy. And then she went, that's it.
That really clicked for me because we do celebrate the new moons here at the Parlour. If anyone's ever interested in celebrating a new moon, reach out to us. We're going to do our next one probably Monday. Right before class or right after class. But new moons are really important because that's the beginning of that lunar cycle. That's where you want to set intentions and things that you want to bring to fruition throughout the next month or several months. So considering that we're mostly working with people who are very new and very interested in learning about this side of spirituality, it seems so fitting to call it new moon because you're starting off on that journey with the new moon.
But it was a text, and I turned around and I go, we just call it New Moon Academy. And then I was laughing, and then she goes, I love it.
It's perfect.
And I'm like, okay, well, there it is.
And then we were really lucky that Rick did that awesome.
Rick did the image, and it just so happens that the first grouping of the first, let's say, semester or the first
I guess it's the first
term or whatever you want to call it. There were 13 guided pieces broken down for you to structurally skeletal.
It's like the bones of
and sort of put pieces together for you to get your own aha moment and say,
It's really basic. All of the classes that we teach in the New Moon Academy Level 1 are very, very basic. Last night, we just had our first 101 class of this series. This is the third series that we're going into. So we have 3 crops of students right now, which is really amazing. But that one just breaks down what we're talking about. We're talking about connecting, again, with your spirituality and being creative with how you want to connect.
Right.
So we do that. Then we go into each class is dedicated to something specific. And 13 classes later, we figure out where your interests lie. And then we go on to level 2. But we won't get into level 2 today.
I know, we don't.
But it's too confusing.
The thing is that it's very structured in a way that beginners don't get lost or just sort of discouraged to sort of step back from it. I mean, your practice in this journey is your own.
Mm-hmm. It's a very personal experience.
You could share or you could keep it to yourself.
Yep.
And that's all up to you. It started off as, did you know there's head witches? Did you know that there's tech witches? Did you know? And I'm like, it's sort of cool like that. It's almost like, and I hate to say it because we won't say the name because we don't want anybody.
No, we don't want to get in trouble.
But like,
there's a certain wizarding school that it's similar to.
But it was just kind of thing. And then as we went along, and as you get to know me through the journey of the Parlour and the journey of Parlour Tea with Genevieve, I am pretty much like something that I didn't realize I was, but I sort of knew.
You're speaking in tongues now. You're not being poetic anymore.
Okay, so
you're speaking in riddles.
What I just was like, let's burn everything. Like it just like, let's hex this and hex that.
We don't hex
and we
people.
don't do that.
We don't curse people.
And we don't curse people. Anyway, I just joke. It's a joke. So I thought I was more chaos.
Yes.
Because my life is chaos. Please send notes too. No.
Please.
Your sympathy cards.
Send them to the Parlour.
Yeah. Thanks. But it just ended up that I realized something that I already really was a healer, someone that makes others feel better, um, and help guide them in a direction that is comfortable for them, which is kind of exciting. And the more that I mentally know that, I thought about it because I am an empath and I feel a lot, like a lot. Plus, I'm a triple Aries. Sorry to her and my husband. Uh, but it was just really a great experience
So,
to go
but I
through
want
the
to
first
kind of touch on
piece.
that a little bit too, because you went into the whole course thinking, okay, I'm chaos. Everything around me is chaos. I must be aligned with chaos. Um, but we learned, in fact, that that was not necessarily true based on everything that you learned, based on our little quiz that we took at the end, and all of your interests and things like that. So I think that that is kind of a showcase on what your spiritual journey is. You're going to move into something that you are not necessarily where you're not necessarily at right now.
Right.
So where you're at right now is not always where you're going to be. I think that's what I'm trying to say with that. So um, you've learned all of these things, you've taken these tools, and now you're moving away from the chaos, because maybe the chaos might be comfortable, but it may not be where you want to stay.
No,
So,
I think as you mature,
sure, and chaos as we know it means a little something different in the practice, but
I think I was also thought of myself as very eclectic because I do like
a lot of
a
people
lot of things.
very new people that are very new to practicing are very eclectic, because there's so many different things that you're pulling in and trying to figure out your practice, which is why I think one of the things that is cool about the class, if I can like talk about the class being cool,
It was.
is that you're kind of highlighting some of the aspects of practice, and just seeing where your interest initially lies, and what your initial assessment of yourself is right now may not be where you are 2 or 3 years from now.
Right.
With
I
additional
agree.
practice.
I agree.
And I think that we should always have that ability to grow and change and evolve. We should always be giving ourselves the green light to do that. Because if not, then we just become stagnant and we become boring. Right.
Absolutely.
And we don't learn. And I think that at least my understanding of how life should be is that it should be constantly learning. We should constantly be growing and evolving and changing.
Right. And I have to say, so it's a year of me, it's a year of finding my inner self and loving that inner person. So in my thing here is, I really honestly and truly feel that I'm not very book savvy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not someone that, I don't read emails. I just don't. It's just not to me. Someone tell me something, I get it.
You're gonna smack me in the face right
There
there.
But to me, the classes were engaging and sort of, I'm not going to say Tour de France, but
you just did.
I know. But they were engaging enough to stimulate me to forward, but in a good way. Because shockingly, we really didn't have like people to say, you're the valedictorian. But I felt, I mean, I was very good.
So that for me, as an instructor, that was kind of like my litmus test. So I know John, and I know that shiny things can distract John, and I mean that with love.
Fine, I get it, and it's true.
But the fact that you sat through the classes, engaged, asked really good questions, came back, did homework. You did homework. That was, for me, that was very rewarding.
Well, it was a rewarding environment. It was a very rewarding experience for me as well. I felt that it was really tailored for people to come in and figure out and dabble here and a dabble there. That's why I always tell people, if you're interested in it, come do it. But Genevieve always turns around and says to someone, the way she does things, she encourages people to go on their journey, find out what is fits to them,
Yeah.
but that what she says does not mean it's end all.
It's not the rule.
Right.
It's an example of how you can explore these different things. It's how you can engage. I also encourage people to learn from as many teachers as possible. If anyone tells you that they're your only teacher and you cannot learn from anyone else, run from those people because that's probably a cult. And we're not doing that here.
No. But I just felt like, becoming someone that is a healer, which is also, I was very engaged in a lot of herbs and understanding of those. But I was also very intrigued with the stones and the vibrations and the feelings and the thoughts and what they're used for, which, was really, like, to me, it's fascinating. It is pretty things. So I do like that.
So way back before we even started the parlor, and I think we may have shared this story previously on Parlour Tea, and certainly if you've come into the store and talked with us at length, we've probably shared this. We really met coincidentally. And one of the things that I distinctly remember saying to John is that I want to have a space where we can have classes and where we can create a community.
We did.
And we're doing that. We started that. And I think that that was always really important to me, because as much as I love all of the beautiful things that we're selling here. I love the fact that we have this amazing collection of unique items and this creepy, beautiful space.
Yep.
But the fact that we are connecting people, there's people building friendships outside of class. There's people building friendships outside of our gatherings.
Right. Going to dinners and drinks together. And
when you unite people with a common interest, we've already got this common spiritual interest. Now people are like starting to spiral off and
do their own things. And it's kind of nice.
It's beautiful.
It really is, because, her success is also a success of the place, but it's also
yours
to
too.
See her, flourish from something like this, and the intrigue of all of it, and that, I'm so excited over this type of thing. You go from 2 people to 20 people. It's like,
now we don't have enough room.
No, we don't. We have too much stuff and a lot of people, and we love every minute of it.
Yep.
It's like,
and we also have a giant eye watching us behind us. Do you see it? It's distracting me.
Oh yeah, that little eye. But yeah, I just feel like everything is going in the direction that we both wanted. What the community, the classes, the circle, the witchy items is starting to build up stronger. That whole idea of witchiness is to be like that one-stop shop. It's just a slow process due to the where we are, we're growing and putting ourselves out there. It's just great. And then now I'm actually going into the 3rd stage of classes.
That's still in progress.
We're waiting because it's nicer when you have a larger group, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of exciting to get to know others that I might not have been in class with, to get to know them. But I've even made some good friends with some people that I would never have even gotten an opportunity to meet.
Yeah.
I believe in destiny. I believe in fate. And I know that we were supposed to meet.
Absolutely.
We were supposed to meet for emotional support. And we were supposed to meet because we're like
big things
brothers and sisters, and on certain days of the year, we're sisters.
That day's coming up next month.
Yeah, next month. May 17th.
May 17th.
But yeah, I'm just excited on where this is going. And, if anybody's doing a new business, it is a slow process. And I believe that you should really
be patient and persistent.
Correct.
Those are two things that we've definitely learned: patience and persistence.
Yeah, we were just excited throwing everything in here going, where is everybody? Don't they know?
Don't they know? Like, I gotta say though, it still does make me like, when people come in and they say,
oh, I didn't know about you. And I'm like, I started to do the Pinterest. I'm doing I'm doing the Facebook, because the Facebook goes to the Facebook, but it's Instagram and TikTok, and it's so like it's just frazzling at points to just go like, did I put it there? Then I got to check, but then you got to get in the thing, and then it's like it's a pain. But people are looking at them. They're just not like more so on Instagram than they are on the TikTok piece. They're a little bit more. I only have 10,000 people. Should I do it or should I not?
So I have a question for you then.
Yes.
What was, out of we had 13 classes that you attended for the New Moon Academy. What was your favorite class? What was your favorite topic?
A couple.
Which ones?
Talking about the stones, of course.
Of course.
Talking about the herbs, but also going through the celebrations through the Wheel of the Year.
The Wheel of the Year, yeah.
Because I when I really like something and I'm really engrossed in this type of thing, like I go to Salem every year. I love every bit of it. I feel when I go there, I'm home.
It's also the time of year that you're going. Well,
but I love Halloween. I love the fall. I love rain. I love all of that type of. It gives me a charged energy that the smells, the whole thing. I don't know if it's because when you're Halloween, you could be anybody you want, and no one ever turns around and points a finger. There's a lot more
to it too, though. There's a lot more.
Right, but there's this satisfying feeling of that, and to go back and hear the historical sides of things, because I've said that it would be really great that we would do a whole like chanting like that whole. I know that was horrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But like to go back and do a real regimented kind of like cool robes and stuff like that kind of thing. I want to experience that. And
with the Wheel of the Year, like I guess just so anyone that's watching so that they understand it, basically the Wheel of the Year is identifying the different points of the year that coincide with the natural cycles of the earth and the weather patterns and all of that stuff. So the holidays kind of align with that. And that's also different points where you would work on different things personally.
Correct.
So like right now we're going into springtime. So we're going into rebirth and renewal. Then as we go through the summer, you're harvesting, you're obviously we're not farmers, we're not harvesting, but we're harvesting the labor that we've put in. But then going to Halloween, then you've got that toward the time of year where the earth is going into slumber. So we're going into all of that point. So it's interesting that Halloween is always everybody's favorite part, because that's the part where
it's enchanting.
It is enchanting.
But I also feel at the end of the day, hi Sarah. The other thing that I feel is something is went right out of my head.
It went right out of your head again.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. It's okay. So you like the Wheel of the Year part.
Correct.
The crystals and the herbs, which is no surprise, knowing how much you love jewelry, that the crystals are one of your favorites.
And like besides the different, that's what it was. Besides the different parts of the witches and like what this one does or what this group does or how they are, and they're all about the deities and the goddesses and who you can relate to, and building your altar and your book of shadows. and how to, you know, call the corners and do the circle and close the circle, and like
I'm
your
so proud of you.
altar and the altar, and how what it should be and how it should be tailored to you, not being like, oh, I need to have this at 90 degrees. Like everything should be where it needs to be.
Well, that's
for you because
the
it's
thing.
yours.
That's the thing with that's what separates this sort of practice from a more structured type of religious practice, is that it reflects what your personality is, what your interests are, and you're basically taking ownership of that development, that spiritual development, rather than coming from an external force. It's coming from an internal desire to learn and to grow and to change. So that's why it's just interesting to see what things.
There was one other thing that I think that people like understand. Like I think that, you know, when Genevieve first started the whole thing, even with the Witchy 101, people's depiction of witches are not green with the wart, and they're not these evil things that fly across the sky with wands and stuff like that. But what they do
what I
is
would do with that.
But what it is really relating to the earth and the air and fire.
Being connected with the world around us.
Correct. And
at
giving back.
Level.
And giving back into the environment. You can't take something and continue to take it without giving something in return.
Yep. It's energy. It's
it's all energy and shifting and manifesting and sort of transitioning into the better you. So, I mean, that's why I feel that if it intrigues you, if it interests you, or there's a tinge of curiosity, I suggest you try to take a look into this, because I really feel it's great. And for $25 each class, to be honest, it's not bad. And you get everything you need.
And
there's slides and PowerPoint.
We're always here for more than
because you're building a community and relationships, and you're ensuring that people are walking away satisfied that they got what they need in that class, and you feel good about it.
Do you want to know what my favorite class is?
What?
I think it's divination.
Yes.
So we do talk about that stuff too. We talk about fortune telling and divination and futures and fates and all of that stuff. I think that's my favorite. We don't get into past lives in level 1. No, it's too much. There's 13 classes.
but as you go along in the practice of learning, because that's what this is, it's a learning experience.
It's practice.
Right.
You take stuff home and you practice. And
then you know the next like group of the next second piece of it is more interactive with groups and pairings and training of that, and more special guest professors that come on and explain their expertise.
You shouldn't just learn from me.
Right.
You should learn from a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Otherwise it's a cult.
So. But we wanted to make sure that, you know, we put it out there. Everybody got an opportunity and a taste. And
this session, we just started the third level 1 session last night. So if anybody's out there and they're still interested, there is time to join that. You can join the classes one-off, even though it's designed to be really like this 13-week foundational, this 13-lesson foundational course. There are certain, you can pop in and take classes.
And if you are interested and you live some other space and you can't get here, you could do Zoom and virtual.
Yep.
It's an option.
Yep.
So, but I hope that was a little guided tour through something that just turned into. Well, I mean, it was something that that was nothing.
It was chaos that we turned into something, right? It was a big mishmash of thoughts and ideas and plans that we created.
And by the way,
turned into something.
Genevieve's doing something else, and this is off the.
I'm doing
off the
a
topic.
1,000 things.
Right. So this is what am I showing them? Like, what is this part of?
So this is part of our. We have a divination box,
Which is the second box, which is a bigger box. That's coming soon.
We have a divination set of candles that starts off with a fragrance called Temple, which is for cleansing your space and setting up that mindset, shifting away from the mundane and into the magical space. Then the next one is Illuminate, which is connecting with your third eye and your intuition. And the third one is Divination, which is what John now has in his hand. He's obsessed with this fragrance. That is meant to help you connect with whatever divination modality you're working with.
It has frankincense, patchouli, and
your favorite star anise.
Whatever.
Star anise.
To connect and aid in divination. It is like
he's gonna start like chewing on the candle. I'll make you some oil.
Because the patchouli, I love frankincense, I love patchouli, and I love bergamot.
A little bit of star.
I just love it. It's eye opening.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's good. Really, I've done my job.
So we're only doing a half hour today.
Yes, we are.
Yay. No.
Next week, I'm not sure who's going to be our guest next week, but we will have someone
shocking.
else.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out because it really is at the root of it. It is all chaos.
It is. It is. But
it's beautiful chaos. It's pretty. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it.
If you're interested, again, in our New Moon Academy, send us an email at the Parlour Keyport at gmail.com. Or you can visit our website, which is running down below, theparlourkeyport.com.
Come visit.
Come visit us.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Have a great night. See you next time.
Bye, guys.